Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. Today we have the 14th round of the VRL F2 Championship here for you today. We load the setup, we go out for 1-1. We waited with like a minute or something as we go out for qualifying. We are here of course in Brazil on the Autodromo José Carlos Pache. And now looking at the standings, we are P11, 42 points. We only need 5 points to Xavimateos, so we need to outscore him with 5 points. And then we are up into the top 10 positions, which is of course a good goal to set with only 2 rounds remaining. Yeah, if we can get a good result, even like a better result than P9, of course, we can do something better as we are now here on our qualifying lap. We are a bit in the dirt here of the Williams ahead of us, who was not on the qualifying lap, so that was pretty strange. It says we did go purple through sector 2, but I don't really believe that, as we get a lot of oversteer out of the final corner. And we go P10. Yeah, with 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining, we of course can go again, so we do that. As we are going into turn 1, we brake way too early, so we immediately lose like 2 tenths. You can see there on the delta, we are P12. Then we turn in a little bit too sharp here in turn 3, and that is our time invalidated. We retire from the session to advance to the race, and here we are with P13 in the end after everybody has set their time. Yeah, with the strategy here, we just put like 37 laps of fuel in. We actually start from P12. I think somebody had a penalty. I can't really think of a better reason why we would be demoted. As yeah, we are only with Nick Pancras on the soft tires. The rest is all on the medium tires around us. Of course, Xavimateos having also the free tire choice after the penalty I think has been applied. Tires were really cold. Lining up on the grid here, it's going to be really interesting as we start on the dirty side of the grid, but on the inside, as the fire red lights are now coming on then, and we are on the way. We have a good start, but on our right the drivers have a better start, so we get a little bit of oversteer. We see Xavimateos go down the inside of turn 1. We try to do the same, so we go down the inside of Leroy and Nick Pancras. He squeezes a little bit left as we are of course through right. Nick there goes off the track, almost crashes out. I don't really know what he was doing there, but as we now are progressing on to turn 4, I believe this is, we are braking but not really trying to overtake them, and there the first car goes into the wall. He's immediately out of the session and the virtual safety car gets deployed. Yeah, he just spun out there and didn't really have anything hitting him, so he spun out on his own, I believe. And we are now of course P10 then into the points. It's really good to see, but our championship rival, as you might call him, Xavimateos, is ahead of us on a harder tire, so we do need to see if we can overtake him now, of course cleanly, after we had a little coming together last time out in Mexico. But we also do need to look behind. We really created a good gap behind us as we were positive in the delta, so we could already go full throttle before the VSC got ended. And there now the second car goes into the wall at turn 4. It was Alex Bomberg. He did not retire from the session, he was still in it. As driving Dutchman here now goes wide, so we are really just picking up the scraps of the chaos that everybody is creating around us. And now we are in P8 without really doing any overtakes. We just overtook 4 guys because they crashed out, as now Blank has retired from the session. Don't know who that was, but he was already behind us from the start, so it doesn't really matter for our race. Excuse me there. And we can see the tire a little bit getting into play now as we have the DRS. Leroy not really passing Xavimateos here, and we brake really late into turn 1. We brake way too late actually. And so now the safety car actually gets deployed as driving Dutchman has retired of the session. Yeah, we are of course coming into the pits, only lap 4, so we do have to make another stop after this. We are going on the medium tires. And let's just put this into speed, as we have a little bit of a weird cut there. And we look at the race director and we can actually see that our teammate went onto the medium tires. We wanted to check if there was a good strategy. And now, yeah, of course our pit stop takes a little bit longer because our teammate also went into the pits. And on the F1 games you cannot double stack. So now then, as the safety car is coming in, We have to maintain speed, of course, warming up the tires. Everybody's doing it very drastically. If you look around us, you can see all guys on the soft tires. The two guys behind us are P1 and P2 in the championship, so they might be a little bit faster than us, and we won't try to fight them. Of course, Nick ahead of us also on the soft tires, so I went into rich, but then immediately into lean because I didn't want to fight him. Didn't have a lot of confidence on the braking, so we broke really early, and Alex did have a lot of confidence on the braking, but here we just put it into lean after we put it into overtake, because we don't really see a point in fighting the championship leaders. It will only cost us time and tire wear, and if we can stick to the train ahead of us, as now Karen and Alex are going to have a beautiful battle ahead here. They're still going side by side, surely not through the fast right hander. Oh, they will go side by side through the fast right hander as they're still fighting. Jeez guys, just sort it out. Really enjoyable battle actually. As we're now coming into the next lap then through the same corner, you can see us still being behind them on a harder tire, so we are getting a bit of an advantage now, as they are burning through their softs while we aren't really doing anything. And you can just see how close the pack was here. It was like every car here. Karen being really aggressive on Leroy there, as he does a little bit of a loose hand on Albon, but without the contact. So he now goes wide and has to rejoin behind Alex, I think. Yeah, he rejoins behind Alex, but now they're going side by side again. It went all really cleanly up until this moment where Karen sent it down the inside of Yuri, and they just forced each other off the track, and yeah, here they went off. It's a bit of a shame. We almost spin out trying to avoid them as we're coming back on the track. Yellow flags behind us, no safety car. And now on lap 9 we are back into P10, of course on the harder tire than the cars ahead of us. But now we are on the same tire as the car ahead of us, Leroy. So let's see if we can overtake him, as Jamil now has retired from the session. He's actually an F1 driver, and there you can see a tire on the track. So there are a lot of chaos in this race, and it's getting really exciting now, because the different tire strategies are starting to evolve now, as the soft runners are getting away from us, but of course our tires will last longer. As now the first few guys coming to the pits is actually Leroy and iQuicks. They surely hadn't pit under the safety car, otherwise they wouldn't pit so soon. And now SLR TH020 is into the pits, and our teammate has spun. That's actually very bad for a Constructors Championship, as we still need to go as high up to the grid as we can. And now Kimmy reset the track, so again not really having done a lot of overtakes, but we are up into P4 just by staying out of the chaos basically. And yeah, we are now skipping 2 laps ahead actually. It didn't really notice because of the smooth transition, but we are now up into P3 as Karim and Nick pit for new tires, of course. And yeah, P3 now, and as we are now coming, not really this lap, coming into the pits, but we get a 3-second time penalty. You can see us being in P2. Yeah, that 3-second time penalty is really stupid, was our fault though. Yeah, so we'll just take that to the end of the race and see if it will have an impact. We go 80 kilometers into the pit lane for our pit stop, coming from P2 then. And yeah, we're swapping on to a set of soft tires, so really going aggressive with this pit stop here. After we did 20 laps on the mediums, we are now going for 12 laps on the soft tires. We only did 1 lap on these. So yeah, they are quite new, although it said used. They're still new enough. And now coming out of the pit, it's actually really close with TRT Kim here, as he's right up our back, but he of course is on all medium tires, so we should be able to stay ahead of him and drive right through the middle sector on our fresh new soft tires. As we go into lap 25, you can see 1 second gap behind us. Yeah, Kimmy actually doesn't have a penalty at this time, so we do need to try and push away from him, because otherwise we'll lose our P6. And now our teammate is into the pits from I don't know, maybe P2 or something, but we now go into P5, and that is 10 points for a championship. Xavimateos is actually 8th, and a lot of guys retired actually, as we started with 16 people but only 8 remaining. He now sets a fast lap of the race, so that will be a point for him if that isn't improved by any driver, so we won't pass him for a championship, as he will now gain 5 points I believe, and we will gain 10, so that difference is cancelled out basically. As we ask our engineer, and he confirms for us again that Kimmy doesn't have any penalties. Kimmy not having any penalties of course means that we will have to push harder to get him back. Yeah, he's now 2.1 seconds behind us. We need to make that of course free. I don't know the situation with my teammate, but I think it is right now no penalties for him also. So yeah, with 7 laps to go, it is probably best to just let him by here. where we don't lose a lot of time. We move to the left to make space for him. Don't want to fight too hard with our teammate, of course, as you can see by the blinking light, he actually didn't have any ERS, but he does manage to set the fastest lap of the race, so we helped him with that. That's quite something to be proud of. As McLaren, of course, we also drive for a team, not only for ourselves. And now coming into lap 39, you can see exactly 3 seconds to TRT Kimi. Xavimateos way too far behind to matter for our 3-second penalty. And there in the distance you could see our teammate spinning out, resetting to track, and this of course means that we will overtake him. Actually, do we? Yes, we do, around the outside. It was quite a beautiful move, although he spun out. Of course, with the hotter tire temperatures, that was a very easy move. Now do need to watch out, as I don't know if he has wing damage, that he won't get back as on the straight. We put it in rich, use a bit of overtake to get away from him. Don't have that much left in the tank. In the end, he dropped away quite far actually. I think he did have wing damage. 4.1 seconds to our teammate TRT Kimi as he spins out, Shadow Blade of course. And Xavimateos 5.8 seconds behind us, so he also isn't in within the 3 seconds. Actually lost our P4 to Karen because of the penalty. He had 9 seconds worth of penalties, we had 3. He was less than 9 seconds ahead of us, so we would have gotten that position. Nevertheless, P5 is of course a great result. Yeah, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.